All right, I'm here with my girl Christina again, and then we're just like talking and I'm just so fascinated by all these things she's teaching me today about like the forms and similarities of belly dance versus Tahitian, and then also the differences. So one of the things that came up was I'm asking her all these questions. She's probably thinking I'm crazy, but is the hands. So we teach our students that about like the different themes. We talk about different things, which is like love and birds and land, tons of different things in Polynesian dance. And so I asked her what the hands meant in belly dance. So,
and unless you're doing it on purpose as part of a choreography, for my use anyway, they really just mean pretty. They don't have any actual movements. I know I'll do the lotus hands. We call them in belly dance.
So do you think that like your hands basically in belly dance is more to just frame everything else?
To direct
the eye.
Direct the eye, yep. Like here. What's going on over here?
So you guys don't like theme like your drum solo or like theme like any type of ori or?
I'm sure there are dancers that do, but as a general rule, I haven't. And none of the classes I've been in have ever really taken that approach. Definitely not to the degree that we do in Tahitian.
So like what's like the biggest thing when you first started with us that you would say was hard for you to transition?
Oh, definitely just how to hold your hands.
Okay.
And well, I come from a lot of different dance backgrounds. So I grew up with ballet, so the standard ballerina hand, you know, the middle finger talks to the thumb was very drilled into me from a very young age, and it translates really well to belly dance. You know, we like to have our pretty dancer hands, but especially hula, this is wrong.
Yeah. Yes. We don't want to do hula.
All your fingers stay together in hula.
Yes.
And breaking that middle finger from dipping down was really hard. That took a long time to fix that muscle memory for me.
Well, there's some styles in hula, just to mention, because you mentioned hula, where they utilize the middle to do your hula hands. But I have noticed that when I have students come in that are belly danced before, that when we tell them to hold their hands out straight, there's still that little like fingers that go like this. And then I'm like constantly like, not now because you can't touch each other, but I'm like, no, like I'm putting their hands like that because I want it nice and straight, because there's like in a line you can see so many differences. So if somebody's doing this and then the other ones, their hands are different, you can completely tell. Yeah. So would you ever, as a fusion dancer, if you were a fusion dancer, do belly dance and then utilize like a theme that you learned in Tahitian?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it'd be fun, and I think it, especially for drum solo type things, in Tahitian odi, that helps a lot guide the movement.
Yes.
And I think it adds just a little bit more to the finished choreography. So I would definitely give it a shot.
So when you guys are doing, speaking of competition, when you guys are doing freestyle, like it's easier for us when we do freestyle to know like a theme so that we can dance, which you mentioned. So what do you guys think of when you're doing freestyle, like if you were just to freestyle belly dance?
Well, again, that's going to depend on the dancer. I personally just listen to the music. I try to let go of my thoughts and just express what I think the music is saying is usually how I approach it. Okay,
and what's your three go-to hand motions? Go.
Well, these are not really hand motions, but arms are, of course, the snake arms. And then the halo arms, we just go around your face here. And then I already did the lotus hands.
Nice. And then you did stuff like where you're like, if you're doing something on one side, we do that same thing too. Like, you know, when we're doing shimmies, we sometimes put our hands there or whatever, but like, you know, as a performer, I think in every type of performance, you always want to highlight something that's happening in your body with your hands. But it's so good to know that like sometimes you go in not just having a theme. Your hands just are like just flowing wherever it can flow.
They're just an extension of the movement, really.
Oh, that's pretty. Thanks, Christina. Thank you.